Hello there. The video you're about to watch is my performance at the 2023 Prima Vista Festival in Tartu, Estonia, as part of my residency, which I'm currently doing in Tartu, in Estonia. Now, the video quality of this piece is not particularly good. It was live streamed through Facebook and then I had to video capture that. So it's kind of a video of a video of a video. But I think it still works and you can still hear me and see what I'm up to. The title of the piece is The Edgenda, which I never actually say, but that's what it's called. And it's based upon my experiences exploring the Edgelands of Tartu and also the Edgelands of Manchester. Anyway, hope you enjoy it. Thank you for tuning in. See you again soon.
All right, I'll start again. Okay, thank you. European Council of the Edgelands, non-Tartu, Estonia. Dear David Hartley, if that is your real name, many thanks for your application to represent the UK at the 2023 European Congress of the Edgelands. We are thrilled to invite you to interviews. The councillors were impressed with your impersonal statement and the inexplicable gaps in your career history. Your interview will be conducted while you sleep in the early hours of April the 1st, 2023. Please prepare a sequence of unnerving mental images based on an edgeland location in your local area. You should ensure that the location is quite uncanny, contains decay, easily accessible but often overlooked, vaguely amusing, under perpetual threat, and feels thin. You and your edgeland will be assessed on these criteria and graded arbitrarily. The council advises you to avoid consumption of alcohol, narcotics, hallucinogens, or excessive levels of salt on the evening of March the 31st. We look forward to meeting you in your dreams. Yours in understatement, Secretary Finn. That's very generous of you, but that's just part one. Okay, so I was here in Tartu last November. And I was just here for a week and I got to know the place a little bit. And I also met with my collaborator, Henry, pictured there in the shiny jacket. He's also pictured here in the shiny shirt. And I also met Jan Allen, who's pictured over here, and on the right there, on the left there with the cat. The three of us went for a walk around what Henry and Jan like to call non-Tartu, the outskirts of the city, the kind of strange places. I like to think of them as the Edgelands, which is a word I've taken from this book, which is also called Edgelands. So these are the places where reality feels a little bit thin, where there might be rubbish and graffiti and decay and things that are left behind. But there might also be things that are deliberately placed that feel weirdly out of place, or places that are trying too hard to be places, just strange places. So we looked at various things. We saw that was a weird house. We saw an enormous chimney that's no longer used, and a big a tower where lots of people live. We visited a cemetery, a church with a door in the wall that was really high up for some reason, and a building that seemed to have promised some kind of mysterious epiphany. We also saw a street with no one on it, which was named after a hedgehog. And then we saw the hedgehog. So I was quite taken by this meandering. I came here really to meet Tartu, and instead I met non-Tartu. And while I actually loved the actual Tartu, it was the non-Tartu who seemed to kind of follow me home. So when I returned home, I resolved to go and find the edgeland places near to where I live. This is where I live. It's a town called Stretford, and you might recognise it. It's called Stretford. It's part of an area called Trafford, which is part of Greater Manchester. That's Manchester. And Manchester is full of weird, thin places. Okay? So, take a left out of my house, escape the knot of streets until you get to Chester Road. Follow that north a bit, then bend your way onto Talbot Road. Keep going across Greatstone Road, past the cricket ground, past the town hall, past the tram station, and then stop on the corner where the street becomes Chester Road again, as if you never left. Here is where you need to be. You might feel a little bit like a video game character, being controlled, being told exactly where to go and what to do by the push of thumbsticks and the press of buttons. So here we are at level 1, House of Fires. Thanks, Andy. Press X to read the sign, press X to read the next sign, press X to read the next sign. Now open Sunday, no VAT on anything. Fireplaces, affordable fires and fireplaces. Open 8 days a week. Fireplaces, free fire sale. But, did you see the man? Did you spot him? Here he is. His name. Look at him there. He looks like a big kind of end-of-level boss that you have to defeat. You really don't want to mess with this guy. Press square to punch and press triangle to kick. His name is Tommy, or at least it was. Ironically, that's the only sign that is missing, that bit at the top there. Somebody took down Tommy's name. You imagine it might have been Tommy himself. You hope he's sitting in his bedroom somewhere, wherever that might be, with his name on the wall above his bed, Tommy. It also says here, you'll save plenty, etc., etc., etc. Now this could be important information if we plan to defeat him in battle. So let's try and understand it. It says Yul because he looks a bit like Yul Brynner, and he's not a, so Yul Brynner was an actor who starred in The King and I, and he looked like this. So etc. of course means like so on and so on and so on. So perhaps that might have been his catchphrase. That means it's a bit mysterious, but it might be a kind of a clue. So here he is again, further down on the shot. It's a signed letter from Tommy that's promising fixed prices for a year after £10 deposits, and a gold postage stamp adorns the top corner with Tommy's face and the words "first class." There's an air of the gangster about him. You both would and wouldn't trust him. He overlaps and so. Never has such dilapidated had such confidence. Why pay more? Save pounds, all stock must go. Around the back there are signs on the floor and the frame of at least one fireplace. The promise of customer parking, but no cars. There's an open door, iron gates don't let us inside, but we can take a look, so let's take a look. Not enough to trigger the cutscene that'll take us headlong into that boss battle with Tommy, but just enough to see what's there. It's fireplaces. Unsolved, despite it all. Despite the fire sale, despite the £10 deposit promise, and the 8th day of the week. Sooty, dusty, rotting, peeling edges. You're tempted to squeeze inside, light a fire, warm yourself, and save your game. But don't do it. It's a trap. Today is the 8th day. Tommy will come stomping out, demanding money, and you will pay with your life. Actually, that was just part 2. Okay, the European Council of the Edgelands, Tartu. Dear David Hartley, turns out that is your real name. Many thanks for attending your Dreamscape interview on the night of April 1st, 2023. You presented us with a whimsical glimpse of a decaying fireplace shop through a half-baked attempt at video game humor. It was pathetic, it was profound, it was exactly what we were expecting from you. We would therefore like to formally invite you to the European Edgeland Congress, which will take place on a date in the near future at an hour in the near times. Your journey will be facilitated by the European Congress of the Edgelands through the underground tunnels that connect us all. Do not prepare a map, we will transport you as you sleep. For this journey, it is highly recommended that you consume lots of alcohol, narcotics, hallucinogens, and excessive levels of salt. You will know when to feast, you will feel it in your bones. In preparation for the Congress, please compile a report on another Edgeland place in your local area. In your report, you should consider the following factors: beauty in the ugly, ugly in the beauty, reflective surfaces, dull surfaces, messiness and tidiness, memory. There will be a delegate from every nation state reporting on their Edgelands at our Congress in Estonia. You are advised to not fuck things up. Yours in overstatement, Secretary Thin. Yes. So, I remember on that journey that me and Jan and Henry took day. We were trying to get to a particular bridge. It was a bridge that was kind of mind-bogglingly enormous. Jan and Henry will remember this more than better than I will, but I do enjoy a good bridge, both large and small. But we overrested our time and our energy levels, and we never reached that bridge that day. So in their book, Edgelands, which I had before this one, Paul Farley and Michael Sutherland Roberts, who wrote this, they find bridges everywhere in their edgelands. They are especially fond of the ones that are built for the simple purpose of carrying people and things from one place to another. They call bridges tone poems to absolute function and utility, which I quite like. So bridges traverse chasms and make connections. In English sayings, when we break up with friends, we say we are burning our bridges. When we make friends again, we say that all the bad stuff that broke our connection is now just water under the bridge. So the bridge itself is being reconstructed. When I first arrived here, I did feel a bit marooned. I didn't know any Estonian, and I'd never been here before. But then I met Henry and Jan and lots of other lovely people. And coming back this time felt like strolling happily across an enormous bridge, not desperately scurrying under the darkness of the underground. Bridges are the glorious lofty heavens of the Edgelands, and there is one near my home in Greater Manchester that towers over the rest. There it is. Opened in October 1960 as part of the M60 Manchester Ring Road, Barton Bridge carries ferries northbound and southbound over the Manchester Ship Canal. It is 31 metres high, 14 metres wide, and transports an average of 506,000 vehicles a year. 4 concrete pillars were constructed in 2016 and are supposed to act as a lift to carry a new carriageway over the canal. So far, they have not lifted or carried anything. They just stand there like alien monoliths. The bridge has an approval rating of 7.9 by the Bridge Appreciation Society and was ranked as Manchester's 5th most popular bridge in a survey conducted in 2019. The Mayor of Manchester, Andy Burnham, has a scale model of the bridge in his office, complete with toy cars and electronic signage. He plays with it on special occasions when he needs to feel more godlike. The bridge will be destroyed in 2103 and no one will witness its death. If you are arriving to the city, the bridge carries you in and proudly shows you all the fun and leisure you will soon be having. You can see the dome of the Trafford Centre, our most ridiculous shopping mall. You will be wowed by the cannon-shaped thing, which is called Chill Factor. It is an indoor ski slope. You might see small aircraft flying around from the tiny little city airport that's right there. And no doubt your youngsters will be delighted by a glimpse of the animatronic monsters of Dino Falls miniature golf. All will feel well. If, however, you are leaving the city, you will see the sewage works. And if the wind is in the right direction, you will smell them too. You should never leave the city. The city would very much like for you to stay. If you are on foot and you cannot access the bridge, it is for cars only. You can get underneath it, but there is not very much to see. Trucks will pass you on the way to the sewage works, and the drivers will stare at you and wonder what you are doing. They might even call security. For the best views, steal away from the leisure complex and cross the overflow car park to the service road. Keep going past the concrete buttresses, onwards through the collapsed section of flimsy fencing, and then stride across the concrete vista beyond. You are now alone. You might be tempted to rummage through the piles of junk, or to kick a few of the stray footballs that have settled here after some misplaced penalty. There are wild shrubs and flowers, a few gulls and starlings, and shallow pools of our famous Manchester rain. The birds will scatter as you approach, leaving you at peace to appreciate the bridge in all its glory. You might want to take this moment to reflect on its importance to your life as a long-term citizen of this town. You might want to pull up a faded armchair and get comfortable. Reminisce about all those times when you came home from long journeys and the endless motorway suddenly lifted like a roller coaster and took you into the sky. What a welcome. How good it is to be home. But don't linger too long. Your seat is soaked and smells a bit funny. The birds are wheeling. Somewhere a man in a bright jacket is watching you and calling for backup. The wind is changing direction. The stench of effluence is coming. Thank you. Just a clap. European Edgeland of the Congress of the Edgelands Tartu. Dear Davy Harbour, we hope you like your new name. Many thanks for attending the European Edgeland Congress in Non-Tartu. We hope you had a pleasant and productive stay. The Council were amused by your report on Bolton Bridge, and we will ensure that the bridge is destroyed on your stated date, with no witnesses. Your memory of the Congress has now been erased. In its place, we have constructed a fiction concerning a writing residency and an artist collaboration, which will be due for completion in 2024. This lie is required so that you may attend a further 2 congresses as contracted. You are obliged to return in May 2023 for the interim Commune of Thinness. In preparation, please investigate paranormal phenomena at an Edgeland place in your local area. You must consider the following elements. Who may have died there? What has been seen there? What has not been seen there? What do the signs mean? What are they hiding? Do you believe? Please note, if anything goes wrong, you will not be rescued. Yours, averagely stated, Secretary Thing. Okay, one person passing outside, which is kind of weird. All right, so when I returned home from my explorations last time I was here, friends and family, they asked me what Tartu was like, and I couldn't really, no, it wasn't like that necessarily. I just chose that image to represent things. It's quite cool. And I'm going back at the back. It's impossible to articulate the essence of a place like Tartu, or to summarize it. It's kind of easier when it's somewhere like Paris, or London, or New York, because we kind of all know a bit about those places already. But then again, people think that they know Manchester as well. They think of the football teams, they think of the music, they think of the cotton mills, the Industrial Revolution. But that stuff's not as important to me. Where I live, the house where I live, I can hear the roars of the stadium when Manchester United score a goal. The sound kind of amuses me, but not because I'm necessarily a big football fan, but because it's really uncanny. It's this kind of monstrous bellow of joy that's erupting from an artificial volcano of money and talent and identity and pride and greed and tribalism and society and culture and fame. Thousands of people flocked together for one meaningless, but also kind of completely meaningful purpose. But that's not unique to Manchester. That is basically every town and city in the UK. The real Manchester is much more mysterious, mercurial, phenomenal, and uncanny, especially this next place. Okay. All right, welcome back to my channel, guys. It's welcome back to Hartley's Haunts. Thanks for joining me as ever. Yeah, if you're new here, do remember, just hit like and subscribe. And as I always say, keep a close watch on the footage because the camera sees more than I do. Okay, leave a comment if you spot anything weird. Right, today we're going up Winter Hill, which is a hill, as it sounds like. And it's just outside of Bolton, which is a town that's part of Greater Manchester, okay? So as you can see, it's a really lovely clear day today, bright blue skies, decent visibility, great views. Down there I can see Bolton, and over there is Manchester. But the real reason that we're here is to visit this hill, right guys? Winter Hill. It's an amazing, mysterious place. So, there were reports, you might have seen them, last night, a UFO sighting up here. Really spooky, but like proper legit. It's the real deal. As you can see behind me, there's loads of people climbing up the hill this morning. They're hoping to get a glimpse of something. So yeah, let's go up there and let's take a look. So first off, you can obviously see the big TV mast that's up there at the top there. This enormous, long, thin mast held up by wires. There's a few other towers dotted around as well. They're all still in operation. They're all broadcasting like TV and radio and stuff. But then, who else knows what else? Who knows what else it broadcasts? Winter Hill has been a hotspot for UFO sightings over the years. Are they attracted by the radio signals? Are they being called here by our shady government agents? Well, guys, okay, this is what happened last night. there was this party of 5 people who were walking up the hill in the middle of the night, and they came right up to the masts, and they said they could hear some strange noises, whooshes, wobbles, pings and things. And then, from nowhere, the skies light up, and boom, there is a craft, triangle-shaped, spinning slowly, then suddenly very much quicker. They all get their phones out, but all their phones aren't working, and they're all dead, and they can't turn them on. So they're just watching this thing, and it's watching them, and then silently it just like zooms off right here where we are now, just over my head. It goes down this way. So yeah, pretty weird guys, but like I've got no reason to disbelieve them. I think it's true. Okay, so keep your eyes on the skies. All right, so we've made it to the base of the mast, which is pretty much the top of the hill. There's lots going on here, there's lots of people around, lots of other YouTubers, TikTokers over there, lots of people watching the skies. But I found something a bit closer to the ground, right? Just come and look at this. Okay. Just as you get to the gateway here, there's an old water pipe with a red sign. And let me just read this out for you. It says, "In memory of George Henderson, traveller, a native of Annan, Dumfriesshire, who was barbarously murdered on Rivington Moor." And this is the moor where we are now. "At noonday on November the 9th, 1838, in the 20th year of his age." And it's not just that, right? If we go over here, excuse me, yeah, okay, let's get past all these people. Okay, there's another plaque here on the wall. I won't read all this one out, but it says, air disaster. There was an air disaster here too, a plane crash in 1958, 120 years after the murder, and now, 65 years later, we have this sighting. I don't know, that's a lot of round numbers, murders, plane crashes, weird TV masts, buildings you can't get into. I mean, look at this. What are they hiding? UFO sightings. And as I always say, just like think of the things that happen that never get recorded, that don't have plaques. Winter Hill, even the name is cold and strange. Definitely, it has a really weird aura. Right, just going to explore just a little bit further. Right, everyone, I've come away a little bit from the crowds now. There's some kind of sort of chanting going on, and people are taking their clothes off. It's all got a bit weird. But check this out, right? I'm underneath one of the other smaller masts. It kind of looks a bit like a pylon. Lots of fences, lots of buildings. But check this out here. I think I can just squeeze through here. Okay. And then just down here, there's a small door that seems to be open and leading into a tunnel. So I'm going to just step inside. Hello? Hello? Is there anybody in here? I think it might be empty, you guys. Hello? Okay, I'll just get my torch on my phone so you can see here. Hold on, there. If I can do this. Okay. Okay, so we've got a table here. It's got a load of stuff on it. It's got some envelopes on it. And, whoa, this is really weird, you guys. I promise I haven't set this up, but these envelopes have all got my name on them. This is really weird. Okay, let's just open one of these up now and see what this says. It says, "Dear David Hartley, if that is your real name." Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just to say, I have some books. They're actually just there at the moment, but I'm going to take books all over there, so if you want to have a look, please do. Thank you very much.